Good morning, children. Now we are going to do lesson 16, which is the last chapter of your final syllabus. The name of the chapter is The Prince and the Pauper. Now, children, Prince you all know in Hindi is Rajkumar, means Prince is the son of a king and Pauper is a poor man. Now, in this story, you have many characters. This is a play where you need many characters. The first character is narrator. Who is a narrator? One who is telling the story. Second is Prince Edward, means the prince, name of the prince is Edward. Tom, who is Tom? Tom is pauper, a poor beggar. Beggar, you know, one who asks for money from people who are passing by. Then the next character is general. General is one who leads the army of the country. Guard 1 and guard 2. Guard, you know that they walk with the prince and also with the generals also. Here these two guards, they move along with Prince Edward. Now children, I am going to tell you all the story. I will read part of the story and I will explain you also. Narrator. Narrator is one who tells the story. Once upon a time, a young prince called Edward lived in London. Now this is the story of London. Prince Edward. How I wish to go outside those gates all by myself, but I know that the guards won't let me. Narrator. So he called the guards. Guard 1 and 2. What can we do for you? Prince Edward. I want to go to see the city by myself. Guard 1. You can't do that. Guard 2. We have strict orders not to leave you alone. Prince Edward. I know that, but remember last week when we went for a ride, you stopped at a shop and sold the Guard 1. Please don't say the word. Prince Edward. Well, I won't if you leave me alone, or I'll tell my father about the Guard 2. No, please, we beg of you. Guard 1. Very well, we will take you to the city. Prince Edward. Let's go then. Narrator. After a short drive, they reached the city. Prince Edward. Stop, I'll walk alone from here. Guards. We will return in an hour. Now children, see, Prince Edward wanted to go outside and see the city. But as he was the prince, so he was not allowed to move freely like this. So he told his guards that if you will not take me outside, I am going to tell your secrets to my father, who is the king. So the guards agree and they say that okay, we will take you for a short drive. Now they reach the city. Now see what happens in the city. Narrator. So the prince walked about in the city. He was alone and was enjoying it. Then he realized that he had lost his way. Now see, the prince, the guards had left the prince in the city. And the prince, when he was walking in the city, he lost his way. Means he did not know from where he had come and where he had to go. Prince Edward to himself, this must be the old part of the city. Narrator. Just then he came face to face with a beggar. He was astonished. Astonished means surprised. Why he was surprised? Because the face of the beggar was resembling the face of the prince. The prince said, we look exactly alike. Tom. Yes, we do, but there is a difference. I am poor and my clothes are all old, torn and dirty. Prince Edward. And I am dressed in fine silk and satin. Tom. If only I could dress like you even for a moment, how happy I would be. Prince Edward. We can solve that problem, taking off his clothes. Here, take these. Tom. Why? Prince Edward. So you can wear them. Hurry. Narrator. And they exchanged clothes. The prince became a pauper and the pauper a prince. Just then the guards arrived with the royal carriage. Now children, what did prince do when he saw that the man is just like him? He exchanged his clothes, and the prince became the beggar and the beggar became the prince. And the guards, they came and they took the beggar as the prince because he was dressed in the clothes of the prince, and they took him. Now see children, what happened after that. Now when they took that pauper, when he went to the king, there he again started living in a lavish manner. And here this prince, he had become a beggar, he had nothing to eat. So now he had to find food for him and shelter also. So one day he heard that there was going to be a war in the country. So he thought that I should join the army. He went and he joined the army, but the general was not able to win the war. So he advised the general that you do this, in this way you will win the war. The general said, how do you know? So he said that if my father would have been there, he would have done the same thing. So he said that you are the son of the king. He said, yes, this is what I am trying to tell everybody, but nobody is believing me. I am the prince. But the general still not believed him. But whatever he advised, he worked on the same way. And in the end, he won the war. So he believed that yes, he is the prince. Now, when the general found out that he is the prince, then they decided that now the country is being, and in the meantime what happened, that the king was dying. He called his son and he said that you be a good king and you rule the people and see that they don't have any suffering, and they should be well off. Now as he was a beggar, so he thought that my father has told me that I should be in a good condition. So he started spending all the money on himself, and his people started suffering. Now when all this happened, the general the general also thought that that is why all this is happening. So we should go, and he told the people that a false prince is ruling the country and we should go and remove him. Now then what happened, that when they went there, when they were returning from the war, the general said that we should have a bath here and then we will go to the city. So when the Edward took off his clothes, so there were some signs on his round the neck. The general said that I have seen these signs at some time. Then he said, yes, I have told you I am the prince, and you must have seen at that time. The general said, yes, when the prince was born, I had seen these signs around the neck of the prince. So then he said, okay, you are the prince. Then he came to know that, heard the whole story, and he said that the false prince is ruling the country. So they told the crowd and everyone, they went to the palace, and then the general and Edward, they entered the palace and they told the false prince that you are not the prince. He is the prince. He said, he told the guards that who are they, take them away. But the guards didn't follow him. Why? Because they knew that he was the false prince and the true prince was Prince Edward. So with all this, the guards went, and the general said that now we all know the truth and this man is lying. So the general told him that you please get out of the palace, and after this he was thrown out of the palace and everybody lived happily with Prince Edward. Children, this is the story taken from a play by Mark Twain. So I have sent you an animated video of this story. I hope you all have watched the video. Now I will send you the PDF of the chapter, and I have explained you the story, and after this the exercises will be sent to you. Thank you.